the Festival of Apprenticeships in partnership with BT Group, showcasing opportunities to future talent.
Good morning, everybody. Apologies about the technical situation, but hopefully we should be able to get the screen up shortly. But we will make a start because I'm conscious you've all come in to hear about careers in the NHS. So why should you want to work for the NHS? We've got over 350 different careers, and it's probably one of the most rewarding places that you can work. So if you want to go home every day knowing that what you've done has really made a difference, then the NHS is for you. I'm not going to lie, it is very pressure, you face a lot of pressure at times, but it is very, very rewarding. So again, there are over 350 different careers, and I think a lot of the time when we ask young people about the different roles in the NHS, we get the obvious doctors and nurses, but there's so much more than that, and some that you wouldn't naturally associate with the NHS. For instance, accountancy, laundry assistant, solicitors, you name it, the NHS probably employs it. There's so many different roles available, and a lot of those are available via the apprentice route as well, which is absolutely fantastic. So just a little bit of background around the NHS. We're one of the largest employers in the UK. So the NHS employs around 1.26 million people within the UK. And we're set up over around 1,000 organisations within England. And each of those organisations is an employer in its own right. So they list their own vacancies, they have their own work experience programmes, their own pre-employability programmes. So it's well worth checking who your local NHS employer is and just getting in touch with them around the different opportunities that might be available for you. Just a little bit of a terminology check. So when we're referring to non-clinical, we're referring to anybody that doesn't have any hands-on contact with patients. So there are roles such as like your accountancy, business services, estates teams. When we're referring to clinical, that is anybody that has got hands-on contact with service users. So like your nurses, healthcare support workers, occupational therapists, so many different roles. So what types of roles are there? So they're broken up into 14 different occupation groups, and they include our allied health professionals, which deal kind of with therapeutic therapies for service users. We've got ambulance services, dental team dealing with oral health. Doctors, we've got the new doctor apprenticeship that's coming on board, set for starts next year, which is really exciting. We've got health informatics, that's anything digital skills, healthcare science, that's experts in technology and science. We've got management opportunities, and that's right up to master's level. We've got medical associate professionals, they support the doctors and the nurses to release them for valuable time. We've got midwifery, so brand new midwifery pathway available. Nursing pathways as well. We've got pharmacy, psychological professionals, public health, and the wider healthcare team as well. So many different roles. In terms of apprenticeships, so what is an apprentice? It's hands-on experience and learning. So it gives you the opportunity to gain a recognised qualification alongside getting paid and also gaining experience in the workplace. So apprenticeships are a minimum of 12 months in duration. In terms of maximum duration, they can be anything up to 4, 5, 6 years long. They're open to anybody over the age of 16. There's no upper age limit for apprenticeships. And again, it's your opportunity to get paid whilst you learn. So as opposed to your traditional route, you're actually getting a salary, you're getting your course paid for. So the benefits are, paramount in terms of apprenticeships. We've got qualifications available right from the entry level 2 up to level 7. And there is over 600 different apprenticeship standards. Within the NHS, we use approximately 180 different apprenticeship standards, and we recruited a massive 37,500 apprentices in the last academic year, which is massive. In terms of apprenticeship levels, so there's 4 different levels. We've got intermediate apprenticeships, they're equivalent to GCSEs. We've got advanced apprenticeships, which are equivalent to A levels. We've got higher apprenticeships, which are equivalent to foundation degree. And then we've got degree apprenticeship programmes, which are your bachelor's and master's degree. And all of those are available within the NHS. So we span right from the level 2 right up to that level 7 high degree level. There are still a lot of misconceptions and myths around apprenticeships that we find. Some of them I've heard today as well with people visiting our stall. Still a lot of people think that apprenticeships aren't for those who are academic. That's completely false. I think since the levy was introduced, we've got those master's level apprenticeships. It does mean that you do need to go to university. You do need to have a level of being academic to complete an apprenticeship programme. So it's completely not for those anymore that haven't done well at school. Absolutely, they are for everybody. Still a lot of misconceptions around age of apprenticeships. So people still think that they're only for the young. They're not. We've got apprentices working in the NHS who are in their 60s and undertaking an apprenticeship programme. So there's no upper age limit. People still think that apprenticeships are very poorly paid. That's incorrect. So yes, there is the national apprenticeship rate. But a lot of apprenticeships are paid well above that. I think in the NHS, quite a lot of our apprenticeships are paid on our Agenda for Change rates, which I'll cover a little bit later on. I think they don't think the slides are up as yet still. But yeah, a lot of NHS apprenticeships are paid well above that national apprenticeship rate. People think as well that apprenticeships don't lead to jobs. What you've got to understand is when the NHS recruits apprentices, we're investing a lot of money in developing apprenticeships. So we absolutely want to keep our apprentices at the end of their qualification. So a lot of our apprenticeships lead on to jobs at the end. So you might complete a 2-year apprenticeship programme and then there might be that offer of a guaranteed job at the end of the apprenticeship programme. A lot of people think that apprenticeships only do low skill work and apprentices aren't challenged within their roles. NHS absolutely wants to challenge apprenticeships, so don't think that you're going to come in and be doing something that doesn't challenge you within your role. For example, our nursing apprentices, they're put on placements through different teams and it is very challenging to complete those courses. So just a little bit more about pay. So again, NHS employers pay well above the national minimum rate for apprenticeships and many significantly higher. So once you've completed your apprenticeship, you can expect to go on the Agenda for Change rates, which starts off at £22,383. And many of our apprentices are paid at 70% of the top of that banding as well. So really good opportunity to start your apprenticeship. There is an NHS employers website as well where you can go on and see all of the pay scales for the NHS. In terms of degree level apprenticeships, so since the levy was introduced, there's been massive developments around degree level apprenticeships, and that is something that the NHS really wants to support as well. It just means that it gives us the opportunity to train and recruit a highly skilled workforce that can be qualified up to that degree level. So some of our degree level apprenticeships include nursing associate, midwifery, diagnostic radiographer, dietitian, and so many more. So please do check on the NHS employers website just to see what opportunities there are for you in terms of degree level apprenticeships. We're doing a lot of work around development of pathways within the NHS. So we really want to support people who have maybe left school or left college. We recognise to get into a degree level apprenticeship, you often need experience. So what we're really keen to do is provide opportunities for people to come in at that entry level route and have a clear pathway so that you can progress up to a degree level apprenticeship. So I'm going to touch on a couple that we've recently developed. So one is around the physiotherapy apprenticeship routes. So people can enter the organisation as an entry-level apprentice, completing a healthcare support worker level 2 apprenticeship, which is equivalent to like your GCSEs. You can then progress onto a level 3 healthcare support worker, which is a therapies route, which is brand new. And then once you've completed that, there is an assistant practitioner level 5, and then progression onto a degree level 6 physiotherapy apprenticeship. Also, in terms of finance, I thought I'd touch on a pathway around that. So there is an accounts and finance assistant level 2 apprenticeship programme available, right from people who leave school or college. You can then progress on to an accounts assistant level 3 qualification, accounting and taxation level 4, and then progress on to a level 7 accounts and taxation degree level apprenticeship. So massive opportunity there, and all throughout that pathway you're being paid and your course fees are paid for as well. So how do you apply for an apprenticeship? So all of our apprenticeships are listed on NHS jobs, so you can access that via our website. There's also the government Find an Apprenticeship page as well, which you can access. I think it's via the gov.uk apply for an apprenticeship. So on there you'll find all of the vacancies from all of the NHS trusts as well. But it's always worth reaching out to your local trust just to see what opportunities are coming up and what times of year they recruit as well. The NHS supports apprentices who are new recruits, so brand new into the organisation, but they also support internal staff as well. So that is if you get a job that's not an apprenticeship within the NHS and you want to progress, we support a lot of our internal workforce as well with development. Before we finish, just a little bit of useful information. You can apply for more than one apprenticeship at a time. So if you see a couple of vacancies that you're interested in on the NHS Jobs website, you can apply for as many as you want. However, whatever apprenticeship you complete, we must be able to evidence that there's significant new learning. So if you've already got an A-level or a different qualification in a similar subject, you must be able to evidence that by doing this apprenticeship programme, you're going to get something out of that. You're going to learn something new as part of that qualification. Apprenticeships also gain the opportunity to gain those Maths and English qualifications as well. So if you don't already have them, you can complete them alongside doing an apprenticeship programme. However, the caveat is that you must complete that before you complete what's called your endpoint assessment at the end of the apprenticeship programme. If you do want to find out more, again, get in touch with your local NHS trusts, or you can come and visit us. We've got a market stall just out in the corridor there. Come and have a chat with us and find out what information there is available. On my slides, I did have links to a couple of really useful websites. I think the slides will be shared to everyone that's attended today, so please do have a look on there. But there's NHS apprenticeships, there's Find an Apprenticeship, and we've also got a HASL website, which has got loads of different career pathways on there. So please do take a look. But thank you everybody for listening to the talk today. I'm willing to take any questions if anyone's got anything to ask. No? Can't see any hands up. Come and speak to us at the market stall if you have got anything.
The Festival of Apprenticeships in partnership with BT Group, showcasing opportunities to future talent.